Gemini, this is Kajora Lovely with your general reading for the month of October 2019. For those of you who are curious, I'm reading with the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. So in this reading, I'm going to go over your general energy for this month and then something for you to keep in mind. Okay. So where you are this month is the Page of Cups in reverse. Let's see. This is usually, well, in this particular deck, it's fairly hedonistic. Usually though, I would say this card is about a messenger of good news coming when it comes to emotions or feelings. So it may feel like it's good news isn't coming quite the way that you had hoped this month, and maybe in relation to relationships. What is influencing you though is the Six of Swords. This is usually moving on from a bad situation. Usually it's leaving rocky waters for something that's much calmer. So it could be that some of you are deciding to leave a situation behind that was not exactly healthy for you. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, that it can also be traveling sometimes or moving with another person, that you and another person decide that you're going to depart something, leave something behind. What's influencing you is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Now, this usually means that things aren't really going that great. Sorry. It usually means that things aren't really moving in your favor at the moment. You're going through the worst stage at this point in time. And it looks like you're going through some changes that you simply just need to go through. It's kind of like all of the elements are standing out: the snowflake, the leaf, the flower, the other leaf, which are the different seasons, right? It's just the way that things are. So whatever it is, you're going through this difficult period, but it usually means that from this point on, things are going to start moving in your favor more, that you're going to get through the worst of it, and then it'll start to change. What you're also feeling this month is the Magician in reverse. Some of you are not really feeling in your full power. You're not really seeing what you're capable of. You're having difficulty, I feel like, with your emotions for some of you. This also happened with Aries, but what's standing out is the snake with the molting skin, which usually just means that you're going through a period of transition and change. You're literally shedding an old skin and going through something. So I think usually with that, it's often giving yourself the time that you need to be vulnerable, and release those old habits, old thoughts, old thought patterns, old behaviors. And I'm getting for some of you, especially while you're in school. So if you're learning if you're in school or learning something new, it feels like this is part of this shifting opportunity for you. And it all kind of goes hand in hand. Where you are right now is the Six of Pentacles. This is about having dynamics with an even give and take in your life. Usually it's about when you're in a position to give, that you give to others as they need. And if you're in a position where you need to receive, that you do so without shame or guilt, because you understand one day you're the one giving, the next day you're receiving, then you're giving, then you're receiving. It kind of goes that way. So this can relate to a few different things. Because it's Pentacles, it can relate to homework and finances. I also see this usually in relation to relationships, whether it's friendships, family, romantic partnerships, that sort of thing. It's focusing on the ones where you have that even give and take, and you give to each other and receive from each other in as you need, and that it's equal. It goes both ways. That's very important, because that's the definition in a way of a healthy relationship, is that it's an equal give and take. What you've also got is the Empress. And I usually see this card as relating to the sign of Taurus. It's a lot of earth energy, but it can also mean that for some of you, you're really feeling feminine energy, feminine power. For some of you may be feeling very in your feminine power. It's usually about fertility, creativity, abundance, and growth. The Empress I will see as the place where everything grows. You know, it's all about cultivating new things, growing new things, learning new things, developing. And, you know, the Empress always has a crown of stars. I usually see that as divine knowledge or divine experience of another knowing too. So I feel like there's something for you at this month that is connecting to the earth element, to the ground, but also to the divine knowledge that there is to be given. And then figuring out what you can do to grow with that. What abundance can you get with that? I realize there's sounds going on around me that I have no control over. I hope that it's not hard to hear me, but I will say sometimes when that happens, it can be a validation. I've learned from some other healers and readers that sometimes when that happens in videos, it means that they're hitting on something important. So if that speaks to you, I wouldn't ignore that. I would look into it a little bit more and see, maybe look into grounding meditations, you know, where you imagine going into the earth, but then also open up your crown chakra to receive information from the universe, because it feels like then your body becomes the place where those intertwine, where something grows. That's certainly a possibility this month. As for the near future, you've got the Hermit, which can relate to the energy of Virgo. Really, though, I'm not surprised that you're getting this in the fall, because the Hermit I see as in where it is in the major arcana in the series of tarot cards in the journey. It's usually about the beginning of going within, of withdrawing a little bit from society, from public life a little bit, to tend to your own needs. For some reason, I'm hearing resuscitate what's necessary for you. So that could even be for some of you, you're going to bring back something into your life with the resuscitation. That's so interesting that someone's saying that. I see it as like, what is it that you haven't done in a while that you want to do again? You know, what's an old habit or a hobby or something? It could be even something silly or something stupid. That it feels like this is usually that you're taking some time to yourself. You're going inward and you're focusing on you and your needs and your wants, your desires. You're doing some personal inventory. You're doing maybe some shadow work. You're listening to your own guidance. You're, sorry, I just heard predicting your own turmoil for some of you. But I feel like there's a lot of listening to your wants, needs, and desires, and not necessarily letting any others dictate that for you. That you're figuring out what you need, how you need it, why you need it, what you need. And for some reason I keep getting there's no shame in that, you know. So as it is, you're taking some time to yourself. In the future, which you have is the Knight of Wands in reverse. So some of you may be feeling a little bit of a block when it comes to your ambition, firing up your ambition, getting things going in that sense. You've got the Hierophant, which can be a Taurus that you're dealing with, but it's also about rules, tradition, structure, patriarchy. There may be something where any of those could be influencing you. Sorry, I'm hearing a bunch of phrases like blank rule book, authority, transference, digestion, moving on, keeping things growing. So I would take all that to mean that when it comes to the role that religion, patriarchy, structure, rules, any or all of those things have played in your life, that you may be going into a place of analysis with that, of analyzing what works for you, what rules work to your advantage, but also what doesn't. And I feel like that's very important for you at this time. There's some valuable lesson in there for you this month. And then you've got the Moon, which is about going internally, similar to this. I feel like this, Again, wintertime, it doesn't surprise me because autumn and winter is starting to get darker and colder in the northern hemisphere. So it's about drawing inward, going inward, doing some internal work, doing your own inventory, focusing on your own needs, your own wants, really giving back to yourself during this time. And with the moon, this is Pisces energy. It's exploring your own subconscious, your own secrets that you may have kept hidden even from yourself or from others. What is it that you want to bring out into the light? What is it that you don't want to hide anymore? What is it that you want to bring forward into the world? What is it that you can grow since you got the Empress card? These are some pretty heavy cards. I normally will pull like things that you can keep in mind, but I feel like there's enough that I'm laying on you that, okay, they're saying one more. I'll pull one more for something you can keep in mind this month. Okay. They wanted to leave you with some good news. Hold on. I dropped it. Okay. Page of Wands. There's good news coming. I guess they want you to have something to look forward to. So the Page of Wands is usually about youthful energy around action, creativity, communication. It's fire energy. So again, I feel this relates to what is that hobby or aspect of yourself that you want to resuscitate, bring back life into. Or what is a new thing that you want to do? A new hobby, a new career, a new creative activity, a new companion. There's something, it feels like there's something that you really want, something that you want to do in your day-to-day life that you want to bring in. You may not be aware, you may just want to know that you want to change. So I would say if that's the case, you could always ask your spirit guides to help you notice signs when they come up of things that you could do differently. But I feel like also there's a note in here about being optimistic and hopeful about the future. That while you're doing all of this analysis, going inward, figuring out, moving on from old things, focusing on yourself, dealing with things that aren't really going that great, not feeling your full power, focusing on the dynamics that haven't even give and take, and then bringing abundance into your life while analyzing rules, and then dive in deep. It's also that they feel that they're saying something's going to come out of this, or it'll happen along the way. What are the tools that you want to create to manifest something beautiful and different in your life or for your lifestyle? You have the opportunity now. It's like it's knocking at your door, is what they're saying. And they're showing me trees outside. So it feels like if you could grow a garden that's abundant and beautiful, what would you put in it? And they're like, and the garden is you. Bet you didn't see that coming. But it's really that you kind of have to sow the seeds of balance, they're saying. I guess we're just going straight up into channeling now. What else? You're creating your own rule book. Withdrawal is key for your momentum and formulation, transcription of new ideas. Transcription could mean you're actually getting messages from your guides on what to do. Know your own worth, your value, your power. See yourself clearly. It's interesting with this card, the Six of Swords. I'm hearing know that you're worth it. Because remember, this is that moving from something bad to something better. They're crossing a river. Crossing the river, you're worth it. You're worth crossing the river for. However that manifests, whether it's you doing it for yourself or if you feel like someone's not making an effort to be with you or have you in their life. There's something about it, like it being epic. But it's sort of an epic shift forward for you. And I just keep coming back to this card, the moon. So this is really about exploring your wild side, your tame side, your dark side, your bright side. It's about exploring all of it, almost as if you are the ocean and the surface of the ocean is what everyone sees. But you know that underneath that is this huge microcosm of all these different things. So that you have depths, you have coral reefs, you have whales, you have underground lakes, you have tube worms, you have anglerfish, you have flying fish. You know, there's so many things that are there. And I think it's really for you to explore some of those for yourself this month. It's kind of intense, obviously. And some of these you can even take as lessons with you throughout the winter, because it feels like, okay, they're saying guiding moral compass. Like you're creating your own guiding moral compass this month. I feel that is what they're talking about with the Hierophant, as far as rule, structure, religion, patriarchy. You know, as far as your own rules, your own self, your own self-conscious. What is it that you, subconscious, what is it that you want to build and grow and develop? What are the relationships where people are giving back to you? What is it that you want to have for yourself in the future? Again, if you're planting a garden, what do you want to have in it? What do you want to see there? Who do you want there? So, on that note, I'm going to leave you all with that. If you have further questions and or need some clarification or some guidance, you can always book a personal tarot card reading with me. I also do Reiki sessions, and I do in person in Long Beach or distance for anyone. And you can, all my information is in the description box below, and you can, the links there for my rates, for how things work, and also how to contact me. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I hope all of you have a wonderful month of October. And I will see all of you again next month.